All right. My banger is my Ninja air fryer. Guys,
Was
no,
this?
you
Hold
don't
on. Did you
understand.
introduce this
No, I
segment just so
didn't.
we can
Yeah,
talk about
seriously, just to talk
No,
about it. And I was,
no,
yeah,
guys, no, seriously. All right, what are we today? October 19th. Oh my God, are we already almost the end of October? What the fuck?
Yep.
We just started.
Uh,
Speaking of,
what?
we went in to go buy Halloween decoration.
Oh no, that's over now. They already got Christmas shit up, my
It's
friend.
non-existent. They're like,
Costco is full of Christmas stuff.
Halloween, despite the fact that it's a week from now, is so last year. Now it's all about the
we
holidays.
went to Canadian
Mariah
Tire. They
Carey
had
is coming out of her.
one full aisle, well, not even half an aisle of Halloween decoration, and that was it.
Yeah, this year we learned from last year, so we bought most of the rest of our decorations in August.
But that's fucking crazy.
Nah.
Yeah.
A lot of our decorations got wrecked in the flood. So my plan is once the Halloween's over and hopefully there's a lot of shit on clearance at I guess Costco, Michael's, whatever. I'm hoping to find some good stuff because yeah, I got like nothing. I put up the decorations I had left and it was literally like a small styrofoam fucking tombstone in my yard. And I was like, this looks more sad than scary, but
You
We
should get
bought
the
a.
giant Costco skeleton and just put it in
dude,
Oh, I
if I
saw
had a
that.
place to put that, I would totally honestly look into it. But my fear is first off, it's just there's nowhere for me to put it. And then the
Sure.
other thing is, I'm like, what's stopping someone from just picking this up in the middle of the night and just fucking taking off with it?
You have a
Because I'm
pretty
not
big
gonna
yard
like
though.
chain it down.
The-
Well, what am I supposed to do? Leave it there year round? Like
Yeah.
I'm
So for Christmas you can put like a Christmas hat on it. For Easter you can put like bunny ears on it. So
There
you can
is
every
someone
year.
like a few blocks away. They'll do that. They'll have like their Halloween decoration, and then they'll transition that to Christmas, which is like putting a bunch of Christmas decorations on those skeletons and whatnot.
no, I'm telling you, Nightmare Before Christmas, they had something good going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
2 holidays in one.
I did buy the tombstone you're talking about, and I was about to put it in the yard. And I'm trying to like put it in the dirt, and it just ends up cracking on me.
Oh, dude, dollar store?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
100. It's yeah, it's so expensive now. Like
I think that thing was
four
$3,
$4,
$4. Yeah.
$5 for these
Yeah.
fucking things made of shit material that break as you're trying to install them in your lawn. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening,
Yeah.
man? What Dollarama? Like I buy a couple of things. I'm like, okay, this should be like whatever, $15. Then I get to the cash and it was like $27 after taxes. And then I put it up and I swear I was like, I feel like I bought nothing. Like I put up the rest of the decoration. I look at my lawn and I'm like, what the fuck?
So the next episode isn't going to be until after Halloween. So I do have a Halloween question for you guys. Even though this is a video game podcast, what is all of yours favorite Halloween candy?
I mean, I would say
It can
it's the
just be
same.
candy,
It's the
period.
same as my regular candy. Yeah,
Well,
there's
I
nothing
mean,
during
I
Halloween
personally
that's
like something
special,
that's
but
only available. Well, I can only find it during Halloween.
What
Go
kind
on.
of,
It's like those Popeye candy sticks.
you could get them all
Ooh.
year round.
I never see them anywhere else.
Go to Bog Barn.
That's your
actually, yeah, I
favorite
guess
candy?
in that case, fine.
Halloween candy.
Something that's strictly that I really only ever see during Halloween, and I know it's available year round, but it's practically invisible to me any other time of the year. Rockets,
You
Oh,
can
you
also
actually
get
like
them.
rockets?
those like
Yeah,
those
yeah,
little
yeah.
parts. Oh, dude, I can eat like infinity of those.
Same.
They're so good.
American Smarties.
The fuck are American Smarties?
The rockets. They don't have smart
Oh,
like they don't have
I know
our.
they don't have Smarties, but I wouldn't say they're American Smarties. They're
No,
not
but they
chocolate.
call them Smarties in the States.
God, no
Yep.
wonder that country's in the fucking shit. Okay.
Among other reasons.
Do you guys,
among other slightly
Manu,
smaller
Jazz, do you guys have
reasons.
any?
I don't know if I have anything Halloween specific though, because anything you get in during the Halloween I can get all year
Yeah.
round.
Okay, okay.
But I'll still answer and I'll say Hershey's cookies and cream or Reese's.
Also
But you know what?
Snickers.
You know what sucks though? Anytime a soda comes out with a Halloween type thing, like a mystery Halloween flavor or whatever, 100% of the time it sucks.
Yeah.
Like Fanta, I think a couple of years ago had like a mystery flavor. You don't know what it is, and the cola itself was just like black as night. it sucked. And now this year they have a whole thing with like Chucky and all that stuff on it. Still sucks.
Wait, is this the Halloween edition then of the podcast?
I mean, it's nothing that we thought of, but sure, we can throw a Halloween sound effect
Just
in
put
here and
like
there. Oh God,
you know,
what's he
like
doing?
just use filters. Post editing,
He's
Manny.
gonna
He got
borrow one
he,
of
he
Sam's
got afraid
cosplay.
and he left.
Yeah, basically. Are you gonna dress up, Manny, when when the trick or treaters come to your house?
I mean, I'm just gonna wear like that Luigi hat from last. Well, fuck. I say Luigi hat. This guy comes out of a Luigi hat.
Well, there you
The
go.
superior
Let's
EG.
go.
All right. So yeah, welcome to episode, was it 14 now of Not Quite High Score, the gaming podcast.
Is it episode 14?
Yes, it
already?
is.
God damn.
Seems like it, yeah.
As
We
usual,
gotta-
we're joined by Jazz, Manu, Taz, and myself, Deep.
It's
And
Manuigi.
Manuichi.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Is he the Waluigi to your Luigi?
I
The
guess so.
Waluigi
Yeah.
tears
He is
Luigi.
a lanky son of a bitch, but
Yeah.
We'll be talking about the Pokemon leaks as well as Quantic Dream is making their first competitive multiplayer game.
for some reason.
I didn't know that topic was added. You did mention you added something to the. This
Guy doesn't
Way to check
read.
the
He
script,
doesn't read
man.
my text messages, and then he doesn't read what I add to the rundown.
Hey, I skim over the text messages. We'll also be going over the Expedition 33 expansion, as well as rounding up the podcast with a discussion on video game awards predictions.
I bet all the actual like the big websites are just fucking balls deep in game of the year talk and trying to figure out what they want to nominate. And
Oh,
Speaking
my
of balls
God.
deep,
speaking of balls deep, yeah,
you guys have been playing Ball Pit, all three of you.
I like
it's
him good.
It's dangerously addictive.
so good. Dude, it is such a fucking good game.
But it's like,
Oh.
but the way I see it is like, it's like the perfect one more round design. It's like it's impossible to put down. There's always like something to do, and like I really do like once you do exit out of the game, there's like the whole harvesting part that kind of goes on. But I've only been playing it for about 2 hours. I know that
I
Manu
mean,
and Taz have put
start
more.
by describing what this game is.
This game is a ball breaker roguelike game. That's the
Mm.
best way to put it. You have a bunch of characters. There's different levels. Every level is split into 3 stages. So you fight 3 bosses, and there are wave enemies that show up, and you have balls you get to choose from, and you get to combine your balls, and you try to clear the stage. But at the same time, there is also a base building aspect included in the game. So every in between runs, you go back to the top of the like your base, I guess, and you have to build buildings. You farm for wheat, wood, and rocks, and you use these materials to expand your base and to unlock more characters and to. Oh, it's the rogue like aspect of the game.
The cool thing about that though is even the harvesting is in the form of brick breaking. So
Mm.
you have the tiles that you put your forest or your quarry or whatever on, and then to harvest you basically have to send out your workers, but to send out the workers you send them out like you would balls in a ball breaker. So you just pick a path and then they just simply bounce around as they will. So sometimes you'll get all the resources you want, other times they'll completely miss because of either your aim or placement or what have you. And the fact that they thought to integrate that into the harvesting, I think is like really, it's a very creative way to do it. And it kind of, it's a little less Stardew Valley and just a little more
Mhm.
unique in the style of what this game is. But just holy crap, man, it is such an addictive. Like, oh yeah, I got 15 minutes, and that's exactly what a run is. Because when you start a run, it tells you that the normal one is about 15 minutes, and if you want to do the fast run, it's maybe 12.
It is 12.
And it usually does tend to respect that. Um, so you kind of know exactly how much time it's going to take, and it's just a really fun game, man. The different balls that they have, the ball types, and just being able to like either fuse them or
Yeah.
take two of them and then evolve them into something new entirely, like the whole system. It's very, very Vampire Survivors esque, right? So you're killing enemies, and then as they die, they drop gems that are experience. You go and you pick those up, and each time you level up, you can either level up an ability you already have or unlock a new ability. I think you have 4 or 5 like attack balls, I guess, if you will, and then passives as well. So passives. So you have like your main power ball, I guess if you want to call it. So it could be one that like has a burn effect. One of them goes through enemies. Another one can cause bleed. One's like a vertical or a horizontal laser, depending on how it hits. And then your passives can be things like you have little baby balls that you. God, I've never said balls this much in such a short span ever. But yeah, you have them big main balls, but then they also shoot baby balls that just kind of do standard damage. And so I don't even remember where I was going with the baby balls.
You just want to say
So
Oh
the
baby
yeah,
baby
balls.
and
balls are
then
just like default balls you're always shooting, and
Yeah.
yeah,
the power
and
balls are
then those
just
can be
additional
affected by
balls.
passives as well. So the passives can be like increase the damage of the baby balls or their speed or something like that. But anyways, just yeah, there's a demo on Steam. Go download it, play it. You can easily put 2 3 hours into completing that demo if you want to do everything there is to offer, and that progress carries over into the full game.
No,
So
good to know.
What are some of the best combos that you guys have made or have seen? Because like what I mean, again, only being like an hour and a half, 2 hours into the game, I really like the laser ones, and then combining them with like let's say burn or like bleed, and you could see like, and it's so satisfying seeing like just a laser coming through like vertically onto the screen, and then you just have everyone burning at the same time. And I'm just kind of wondering like what kind of other like combos that you guys have made and you know found to be very intriguing.
I have two favorite combos. One of them is the vertical one, but you combine it with the horizontal one, and then you either get the passive that lets the balls go through enemies, or you combine it with the ball that lets it go through enemies. And so you just have these four lasers going in every direction all across the screen as the ball just kind of zips through the area. There's that one, and there's also one ball I made, which was I don't remember how I made it, but it's essentially a bomb. Anytime it explodes, it detonates, doing a lot of damage to enemies around it. But I combined it with a curse ball, which curses all the enemies, so that after a certain tick, they all explode. So everything was just blowing up on my screen. The combinations you can make this game are just
yeah,
wild.
because
That's
there's
awesome.
because at a certain point, like you'll have this little drop that you can once you pick it up, you select between either leveling up the balls that you currently have, or if they've all reached max level, which is three, so it's not that bad, you can combine two of them. And then when you combine two of them, there's two different types of combinations. One is just a simple fusion of the balls. So you can have, let's say, you fuse the laser and then you fuse it with, I don't know, whatever, lightning. And so it'll just make like your lightning go vertical as opposed to it being like AoE. And then there's the option to evolve, and that takes two of the balls and it evolves into something entirely new. So I can take the beam and I can add poison to it and I can make a radiation beam. One of the really cool ones that I made is one of the balls that the power ones that you can choose. Basically, as soon as it hits an enemy, it has a chance of spawning baby balls.
Mm.
So I combined
Mm.
that with the earthquake ball. So that made it that whenever it hit an enemy, it spawned baby balls, but then those baby balls all had the earthquake property. So there's just earthquakes going on all over the place doing crazy AoE damage. And I know none of this really means anything if you haven't played the game, but
No,
like
but
it's so
yeah,
fun
yeah,
experimenting because everything combines with everything to form something. So there's
yeah.
really like no wrong way kind of to play because you're always discovering something new. And one of the really cool things Manu and I were talking about earlier too is one of the characters that you can select. He's a philosopher, and so when you play him, he's going to choose all everything on his own. So you're just basically controlling the character, but whenever it comes time to choose either an upgrade or what have you, he's going to be doing it on his own.
Interesting.
Oh,
And the
that's
cool
cool.
thing is, he'll sometimes pick things that we normally wouldn't really be inclined to pick, but then as he progresses, he'll go ahead and he'll make these combinations that you didn't know that were possible. So you're discovering new things while playing this character who's doing things for you. And then he doesn't normally really miss. He makes good selections that are not. It's not just like randomly clicking shit. Like he's actually. It's almost as if he has a build in his head that he's headed towards because it more often than not ends up with some really cool shit, and you learn a lot playing this character. So another really cool thing. And hell, sometimes you just don't want to think and you just want to play. So go ahead and pick him and just
I
go
think that's
nuts
a
too.
very interesting and unique take on like roguelikes, like where it's like you take the choice away from the player. And I can't think of any other game that's done that before on the top of
But
my
it's
head.
great because it's taking the choice away while at the same time educating the
Yeah.
player on what other possibilities lie beyond what you may just currently always be choosing.
Yeah, I remember when I first chose him. After the second or third upgrade, I'm like, this one is doomed. He's picking the worst options, and I that was the fastest clear I've ever done for that boss. Because this shit was just flying everywhere. It was a really good build.
Yeah, if you guys do have 10 minutes, check out the demo on Steam. We all got to try it a couple of podcast episodes ago for Steam Next Fest, and we all thoroughly enjoyed it, which is why they all picked it up immediately when it was released this week.
It's only $20 as well. So
Yeah,
I'm
And the
still taking
game is
advantage of
Game
Game
Pass.
Pass, but yeah,
yeah, it's on
I'm gonna
Game
buy it on
Pass.
Steam. Yeah.
And if you want to buy it on Steam, it's like $20 Canadian, so probably like $5 American. So
Jazz Manager just bought it for me, so if you're still part of the Steam family, can
Oh yeah,
buy it.
that's fine. Thanks so much. But no, it's a really fun game, man. Yeah, hopefully you give it a chance. Well, I mean, Manu bought it for you, so you
Yeah,
have
no,
to play
it's just a
it.
matter of time because like some of the other games we're going to be talking about today, it's just we're all there's it's a good prompt to have. It's just been a really good year for games, and we're
Manu,
kind of
did you use
feeling
the
it.
Jeopardy money to like
yeah,
to buy this game? You bastard!
I used Jeopardy money
So
to
you're
buy
welcome, man.
myself the game, and then have for.
Oh, that's nice.
Even when I get last place, I get a prize.
Yeah.
and so we've all been playing Borderlands 4.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, okay. Here's one thing about Borderlands, at least for me, because I didn't play Borderlands 3, or at least I tried playing it, but I couldn't get through it. I know Manu finished it, and maybe
I
did you guys
finished it.
finish it as
Yeah,
well? Yeah. Like I feel again comparing it to two, then like the gunplay is definitely tighter. Like I do find that the environment to be super dynamic, but the one thing that I noticed is it's just way more fun to play with people. Like I'm having a good time playing it solo, but it does feel like a more of a grind. Like the whole loot treadmill and everything. I do find it kind of heavy, but when we're all on,
yeah.
I feel like Borderlands 4 is at its
I
best.
think
I
it
don't know
really
if
depends what you're trying to do because like I'm trying to currently complete the game 100%, and I'm actually enjoying learning more about the world. So like the echo logs,
yeah.
the RJ is kind of like a guide that you find throughout the game, as well as some of the side quests too are very entertaining. So it's like from that aspect, and I love playing with you guys, but sometimes when we're together, it's like over the noise, over like the laughter, the jokes. I can't really pay attention to the story of the side missions.
Mhm.
Um,
Which is a weird thing to say for a Borderlands game, but
yeah,
also a pleasant surprise in and of itself. Because yeah, I agree that there's definitely a lot of really cool side missions. I've been working on just sort of clearing the map of all of them, so I'm like pretty side missioned out in a lot of ways in this game, and a lot of them are not great.
oh,
No, because it's
They're
go to
very
yeah,
they're
go
very
from
just
one
sort of
place to
simply
another.
thought out. Exactly. It's all right. Go here because I need this. All right, cool. Oh,
Mm,
you gotta flick that switch. All right, flick it. Hey, switch isn't working. Oh, there's got to be a way to turn it on. Okay, look around. Great, turn it on. Wave after wave of enemies, whatever this and that.
right.
Like it's the same structure for a lot of them, but there are some that are surprisingly touching
Hmm.
Mhm.
mm,
for a Borderlands game that they actually allow them to be that, and they don't really throw in jokes for levity in those moments either. Like they just kind of let it be, whether it's a touching moment or a somber moment. Like I appreciate that they kind of found a good balance of, yeah, there's a lot of humor in the game, but they definitely left a lot of room for the serious moments, and they let those moments be
But
without having to tarnish them with like some joke from either
yeah,
Claptrap or your character as well.
that's the thing where like those missions where it's kind of repetitive actions, those are the ones I found like they have the most meaningful stories. But then the more unique story ones are kind of just entertaining throughout. Sorry, the more unique side missions are kind of interesting in their own way because like there's one I'm not sure if you
Yeah.
guys done is the escape room one, and it's
No, I
called No
haven't.
Escape.
Yes.
It's somewhere
Yeah.
like in the central city. I forgot what the name is, but it's like, and I think around Terminus District, and it's like you're trying to escape an escape room, but it's not built to be escapable. So there's a lot of traps. There's a lot of like thinking outside the box. You could just brute force it, but it's kind of fun trying to figure out the different puzzles and.
Yeah, like there's that one. There's, the couple that you help escape
Oh
Dominion
man, yeah.
City,
oh yeah, that's a
the
good one.
old
Yeah.
couple. There's actually a chain of missions where you're trying to find a serial killer, and it was actually a very entertaining chain of
Mm,
missions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, like things like that, I'm like, this is actually great. And again, they let them each have their tone. There's no serious moment followed by like a toilet flush. You know what I mean? It's just this is what it is, and even it's just that. And the thing with those actually is that they're great, but I just find that they're a bit too few and far between.
Mm.
So I wish that there was a little more of that and a little less of like the standard go here, do this,
Mm.
that doesn't work, go find a battery, go find a switch, kill a bunch of enemies. Okay, now do it. Oh wait, that didn't work either. Like the same structure for various missions. But the other thing too, and I haven't played any other character so far aside from the Exo Soldier, so I can only speak for him. But again, a lot of the dialogue, like just he's a good guy. There's no forcing humor. Everything is just sort of well written. They seem to always nail the tone.
Hmm.
The emotion comes through, which again, such a weird thing to say for a Borderlands game. Even Claptrap, they
They toned him
gave
down.
him sort of,
There was a
like
story mission where it was like a side mission where he's like talking about like the entire thing of him moving on of the past and like looking
yeah,
forward to the future. That was
like they
pretty
made
awesome for a side
Claptrap
quest.
introspective, and that's really cool because he's still Claptrap, but but now he's more than just that annoying character, and it makes it that, yeah, they added a slider to the game to make him talk less, but I feel like it's unnecessary because they did such a good job
Mhm.
writing him. I think anyone that complains about the tone of this game, you either don't know what you're getting yourself into in the first place, or you just haven't played the previous games enough to really appreciate it. But
You
in the
mentioned
end, even
is it Raja or Raya with the exos?
RJ.
Yeah.
RJ.
No, RJ's the
Oh,
Oh, Rafa, you mean?
Rafa, right?
oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So even Vex, it's like I like their own dialogue in pretty much every side mission, every main quest. They always have something to add, and like even Vex, at one point there's a side quest where you're helping like the mob boss, and Vex is like because she loves like mob filler kind of like movies, so she like starts pretending like she's a mob boss as well. She puts on an accent and everything, and she's like even if it's a simple fetch mission, she like really acts it out, and like that really kind of like makes the mission a lot more enjoyable. I found the voice
Yeah, but
acting was
even
fantastic.
like that aside too, like just gunplay, fantastic, like super super tight, great gunplay. I love it. It's even just sometimes playing for, I just go in and I don't even necessarily feel like I'm playing missions, but the moment to moment gameplay is so nice that I just go back and I'm like, whatever, it's fun to play that, and that keeps me coming back. Like it's just, there's a lot to like in this game. Definitely some things to dislike for sure. So again, aside from the repetitive nature of the side missions, the navigation I find is just such lackluster
It's not good.
navigation. Like
It
there's been so many times, and this is like beyond patches. Like this is, as recent as like yesterday when I was playing, where you'll activate your robot to do the navigation, show you the path to your objective, and it literally just goes straight on the road, and then it goes upward and then into the side of a cliff. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's completely useless.
So I
Um,
found that to be the case when you're randomly putting markers on the map. But if you're highlighting specific things, like if you're trying to look for an echo log, for instance, then it will show you the correct path to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't had any issues with the navigation system of the game. So it might have were you just putting random pointers or
no, it's always towards an objective. I have no reason to
um,
put a random pointer on the map. It's always to either a question mark or a pickup or a mission point or whatever. But that aside, the other thing is just like, I wish that there was just an option to permanently leave the navigation thing as opposed to constantly having to press, Z
this
on the
yeah.
keyboard or
Yeah.
whatever it is
mm,
to have it pop back up again. Because I'm like, what's the use? Like, why can't you just leave it? And why is there even a cooldown on something like that in the first place?
A toggle would be better. So you
Yeah.
If we're talking about cooldown, you know what's the dumbest thing I found today? You know Morris's machine, like that thing that gives you exotics.
dude,
So
holy crap. I was gonna talk about that.
I interact with the machine, and I start getting
Ugh.
shot at. So I leave, shoot
Same.
the people, then have to wait 4.5 hours to interact with
I
it
don't
again.
understand.
Oh, wait, hold
Yeah.
on. The
That's
cooldown's
the
supposed to be
dumbest
30
decision
minutes.
ever. No, it's 4 hours.
Yeah.
No, it's 30 minutes.
No, for me it was
Because
4.5 hours.
it's 4.5 hours. Two
Okay, well,
instances this happened to me.
I've played and then I just gone back a half hour after and I've been able
But
to
there
access.
shouldn't be a cooldown.
Yeah.
Why is there a
Put a
cooldown for
cooldown
this
in the
machine?
machine that'll like change the stock, but you don't have to just lock out the machine. That's a weird design flaw.
Well, I understand if you want to. Yeah, like I guess I don't understand the cooldown aspect where if you just simply open the machine and then you back out of the machine, even by mistake, it locks out. Oh,
Yeah.
cooldown.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. I didn't buy anything, but I can't re-access the machine. And then as soon as you buy something, still cooldown. But why? You're only selling two
Two guns.
weapons, four variations each of two weapons. But it's like, why the fuck is there a cooldown? I don't understand.
is this a way to like get you to play the game more and to like
Wait,
having to turn it on?
wait. So you're saying if I buy something, I have to wait 4 hours to buy another?
Yeah.
Technically a half hour. You keep saying 4 hours,
I will
but it
send
should
you a
be half an
screenshot. I
hour.
will
I'm
send
not,
you a
I'm not
4.5
saying I
screenshot.
don't
hours.
believe you, but here's the
Yeah.
other thing too. Here's the other thing that I found out today because it's happened to me, and I was like, "Is this normal?" It's also glitched where sometimes you'll open it up and it'll think your inventory is full even though you have a ton of space in your inventory, so
Ay,
it
ay,
won't let you
ay.
buy anything. But how do you clear inventory? You have to exit out of the machine, go into your inventory. Well, if you exit out of the machine, you fucking it triggers
Oh
the
man,
cooldown.
great.
It's
But
so
there is a
there's a lot of
workaround for the
frustrating. Yeah.
but if that you do come across that, there is a workaround. If you just have to basically sell it one of your guns, and then it'll like clear a slot in your inventory, and that allows you to buy it. You just have to make sure you don't exit out of the machine. And then if this is a gun that you don't want to get rid of, you can just buy it back afterwards. Like it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But it's just like things like that are just so stupid and beyond the glitch. Like just what the fuck is there a half hour cooldown on this thing?
4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours, whatever.
um, yeah. So one cool interesting fact about the game was they instead of fuck, what's her name? The siren that we get assisting us with the campaign, like another name,
Oh, Amara.
Amara. It was supposed to be an adult Ava, but
Yeah.
because of people did not like her character in 3, they completely reworked her towards the end of the development. And so apparently if you look at the game files, you can find some like mention of Ava in the game.
I mean, even before release, right? They kept going on about how they were very, very adamant that the tone of the game was different this time around from 3, right? So they kind of went the route of almost overcorrecting, but I like the tone the way that they went.
Yeah.
So it also doesn't surprise me that they wanted to avoid a character that everyone hated because this is just them trying to play it safe,
Yeah.
right? Like
But it's
with the
also nice that we got
writing
to
as
see
well as
some
with
of the
this.
characters from 3 come back. Like not all of them were
Yeah,
terrible.
The
like
characters in
it didn't
3,
surprise me that Amara was in it, but
the characters, well, the main 4 characters of all times were very well written, I think, and they just had some pretty cool personalities. It's just everything around everything else
Yeah.
that was such a bog to play.
Man, 3 I don't like. I remember playing the game. I remember liking the gunplay and then just hating a lot of it, and so like I didn't retain anything about that game.
I never even completed it. I think I must have gotten maybe somewhere close to halfway before I was just like, I can't do this. But I think a bigger part of why I never completed it is because I was playing it on PS5 and just playing it on a controller didn't feel right.
Hmm.
Mm.
But that said, like that's by the sounds of it, it's definitely not a game I think I can go back and play now, especially after having played 4.
So apparently, if you are ever going to play 3, while the main campaign was not the greats because of the twins, the DLC kind of rectified a lot of that. Like the DLCs were a lot of fun to play campaign wise.
What do
So
you guys think of the open world nature of the game?
I think it's fun. I think it's a very interesting twist to the Borderlands series. I do like the fact that like with that they introduce a lot of quality of life updates, kind of like being able to summon your vehicle wherever you want.
I think it's good and less loading screen, so that's always a plus. Um, I'm curious though, what did you guys? Do you guys still find it annoying the lack of drop rates for the legendaries?
Oh my god.
A little
They're very
bit.
stingy on with that this time around.
They're definitely very stingy. I think they're a little too stingy with
They
it. I get
overcorrected from
the
3.
Yeah, like I get that it's a legendary and so it should be a rare drop rate, but at the same time I feel like I could play for hours upon hours
Hmm.
and not get a single drop. But then the other thing is too is I wouldn't even mind that as much if all of the legendaries were in fact really good, but there's just so many that dropped and I'm like this kind of sucks. And so it definitely adds to the frustration when not only are you not getting legendary drops, but when you finally do get one, it's just such an ass drop that you're like, okay, well, what the fuck?
I think it's the combination of the legendaries themselves can have so many different modifiers that even if you get a good legendary, the modifiers you get on that are like complete shit. So
I think
mixed with
legendary
the low
should have
drop
been
rate.
static. I'm not sure if that's controversial. I think what makes legendary should have been static perks to it.
I feel like, yeah, you're right. Legendary should have been static because then if you want to make any changes, then you can do that with the system they have in place where you pick those different,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember what they're called,
The set
enhancements
bonuses,
or
yeah.
yeah, the set bonuses. So you can kind of play around transferring those to make your legendary the way you want it. But yeah, like having all of these different variations. And sometimes I go on the subreddit and I'm like, people find these guns and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like these are the stats you got with this. This is insane. But then if I get that same weapon, but then the roll that I'm gonna get is just gonna be I'll look at it, I'm like, "Okay,
Reminds me
well,
of
this
Destiny
is."
a little bit.
Yeah, but then you
Yeah.
don't know how many hours they've spent grinding for it.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, no, but, at the same time, there's always one post at least where there's some guy that's opened up a toilet in the game, and there was a legendary sitting there, you know? What do you guys, before we move on to the next game, what do you guys think of the areas? Because it's like there's a 3 or 4 biomes, I guess, right in the game.
Um,
They're distinctively different, which I've enjoyed. It wasn't just like, oh, this is just the same area but reskinned or like yeah, different timeline layout.
I was slightly disappointed, I have to say. I like the first one a lot,
Mm.
and it definitely, it's the strongest and it makes sense because that's what you open up the game with. But then it's just like, all right, cool. So you have this awesome sort of foresty, whatever, lush area. And then you basically have desert wasteland and frozen wasteland
yeah.
with not really much
So
to it
so that's what I was gonna say.
necessarily.
It was nice to have variety, but I found them to be disappointing. And I kind of found myself missing three when you're going to different planets, and those were significantly different biomes you were accessing, and that kind of made it um,
I felt the
more
opposite because
fun.
like the wasteland you go to, the desert wasteland, there's a lot of like pits you could fall into. So I felt like I had to watch more carefully where I was going. While in the frozen wasteland, there's lot more winding paths, so it was also more tricky. It wasn't just
Right, but I'm not
straightforward.
talking about the design. I'm just like the design in that sense. I'm talking more the visual of it,
Oh,
where
I
it could
see.
have just been a little more. It could have been nicer to look at and nicer to explore,
Okay.
right? Because like it's just basically a beige orange wasteland with not much, and you're going from like lush, nice deserts, these areas with lots of like vegetation, lots of wildlife, and then it's all just like dust.
It's It's hard to imagine something else. I know we have seen other biomes on like Borderlands 3, especially with all the different planets and the cities you go to. But it's hard to imagine not having a wasteland in a Borderlands game where everything.
But then I
I
don't
would
need two
take
of them.
yeah, I would take the wasteland and the forest, but then the third one should have been slightly different or designed
Mm,
differently. The one thing I will say about this the frozen wasteland is that there's a lot of like mountain trails and like a lot of caves and like that kind
Yeah.
of like there's a lot of to look forward to that for exploration.
See, I like that, and I like the design choice for sort of it's like the Tibetan kind
Yeah,
of
the augers.
the augurs,
mhm.
but even their aesthetic is almost like it's like Tibetan cyberpunk.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And
Well,
it's
I mean,
really
it's
cool.
yeah.
And I kind of wish they'd leaned more into that for the rest of the area almost. And then that would have been really cool and whatever for the desert area. Like who knows? Maybe at some point with DLC or something, we'll add something more you can go to. Dominion's not bad. I mean, it's like a city falling apart. A bit annoying that you can't use your vehicle in that
Yeah.
entire area because there's definitely parts where I'm like, you could have just fucking given me a car for this trek here. But
The menu was the only
you
one
know,
that I found disappointing because I expected more, something
yeah.
more like Neo Tokyo style or like the more futuristic, more clean,
For the
more.
hype
Yeah.
and the
Yeah,
fact that it's this gated off thing, and now you're finally in, you kind of get there and you're like, this is it.
it's
And then
trash.
a third of it is just like sludge, garbage, waste, sewers, and
The
it's
slums.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the
it's like, oh, I
slums.
didn't
Yeah,
get enough of that before. But anyways, but overall, I think the general sentiment is we're all pretty happy with this
yeah,
game, right?
it's good,
Yeah,
especially
it's a
after three.
proper.
Sorry,
Sorry,
go
go
on,
on.
Jazz. No, no, go for it.
I was gonna say it's a proper return to form. That's
Yeah.
that's the best way of describing it.
Yeah, after 3, Jazz, like, just like you're saying, like, we're kinda all happy we got a solid return to Borderlands, a solid game to look forward to, and, like, now even the DLC, whatever they're gonna come up with.
Yeah, and they got that new Vault Hunter soon. I don't remember
Yeah,
the date,
looks
but
pretty cool. Yeah. So Pokemon,
uh,
Pokemon Legends.
let's
who wants
go.
to go in?
Let's let Deep start with this because I am curious to see what you think before I chime in.
So I originally bought the game for my girlfriend, and I wasn't gonna play it, but I saw her play, and it's definitely, you have to walk into this knowing that it's not a mainline, sorry, Pokemon game. It is definitely a Legends game. So they
What does
kind
that mean in
so,
terms of?
so they don't follow the normal convention of Pokemon combat and exploration. This is very like a finite space, finite amount of things you could do, and the entire focus is just kind of um, exploration resource, which is kind of, it's, as I'm saying this, I'm kind of like shooting myself in the foot because the map is so fucking tiny. But like we'll get to that
Is
eventually.
Lumios
The
the whole
entire,
game?
yes.
Okay, all right. That adds a lot of fire
Yes, but the one
to
cool thing that they
my overall
introduced
opinion of this game.
before we start shitting on it, the one cool thing that they do with the combat in this game is it's no longer your traditional turn based. It's very much an action RPG in a sense that you get to move around with your Pokemon, and it's kind of what fans have been asking for. And you're no longer limited the amount of attacks you can use. It's more kind of, there's a cooldown on the attacks. And so if I, like, let's say if my Gengar has 4 moves, I can use one attack and that'll be on a cooldown, but then I also have 3 other attacks available to me. And then kind of following Legends, you can walk around, you can throw Pokeballs. Like you're not initiating like a 1v1. You can have multiple Pokemon from all directions come at you. Even the kind of the way they approach Pokemon battles is slightly different. So they have a day and night cycle in this game, and at night the an area of the city closes off, and that's where all the battles happen. And the kind of like the cycle of how this game works is that so throughout the game you have to rank up. So you start at rank Z and you have to go all the way to A. And the way to do that is you need to get a certain amount of points battling players, which you'll then get a coupon, a ticket, which lets you challenge someone to rank up.
God, none of this sounds fun.
This sounds like a boring piece of crap
No,
game.
no, hold on. Let him finish his train of thought.
You can see a trainer out, and they're gonna have their Pokemon, and you can kind of like surprise battle them, where it's like you have your Pokemon attack them first, and that initiates the combat. But if you're not careful, if you're like going around the corner, if the player's waiting for you there, they can kind of do that same to you. And then it's kind of like you just keep throwing out your Pokemon until until one person loses.
So it's a city where you can start assaulting other players with Pokemons.
Kind of, but you're in an area
But it's in a
dedicated for it.
specific zone dedicated to
Yeah,
assault.
people are going there
Yeah.
to assault. Yeah.
That'd be great if we had that. So wait,
Okay.
so is it, so it's a more battle centric game? Is that it?
Not it's
I mean, they're all battle centric.
Yeah.
I don't know
No,
what
but
you're.
mm, never mind.
maybe Taz, you can kind of round this explanation a bit better than I'm not sure if I missed anything.
I mean, look, I'm 5 hours in.
I'm 10 hours in.
That is the gist so far.
How does it look,
It's
Taz?
for the first 5 hours that I've well, for the first 5 hours. For the 5 hours that I played, this game is super fucking handholdy. All 5 hours thus far. They haven't
So
left me alone.
yeah,
At no
and
point
they
are they like, all right, go do what you want now.
and they
It's
won't
just
really.
yeah, and it's just like, okay, well, this is your mission now. Do this, and if you try to fucking deviate the path, there's this. Is your phone a Pokemon?
Yes, it's Rodham.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so
So that
you're.
was the case in the past 2
I don't
games
know.
I've seen.
Look,
Yeah.
look. This is okay. Everything that I'm gonna say, all of my thoughts are coming from someone whose last serious Pokemon game, I think, was Red.
Oh Lord!
Oh
The
my
first
god.
one.
And yes, and then aside from that, I have dabbled in
Okay.
some here and there. So like, I'm not some crazed fan. This is just me coming in, being like, oh, there's a new Pokemon game. Let me try it out. Okay. What the fuck? I think is the first. This is.
Okay.
And no, hold on. I think this game speaks so highly to the power of this IP that a game of this quality can come out from a $1 billion company that owns this $1 billion IP, and people are gonna fucking jump over this and play it, and
J-
it's getting the reviews that it's getting.
just before we
That
continue,
speaks to the power of this IP. Because if you strip away the Pokemon aspect of this, and I was just like, hey guys, here's an RPG where there's these random creatures and you play. If this was like fucking Temtem, or if this was a Pal World, right? Skinned over this, so like you didn't know this was Pokemon, people would forget about this fucking game in 20 minutes.
okay, let me ask before we continue. Can I ask, are you emulating it or are you playing it on Switch One? Because I know you don't have a Switch Two.
Look, I know Nintendo's legal department is fucking, constantly listening. I'm not I'm not confirming or denying anything.
Okay, perfect.
Okay?
I'm playing it on the Switch Two, just to say. And
Okay.
so continue.
There's literally no difference between a Switch 1 and a Switch 2 version, by the way, aside from the frame rate and like
Yes.
very, very minute details and graphics that you literally will
So
probably not fucking
There's an
notice.
extra
Fu-
pixel on that grass.
So, fun
It's
fact: the entire world, Lumia City, is one model. That's why there's no. That's why there's no like details to any of the building except for like
well, okay.
what's like
Hold
pasted
on.
on it as an
Let me
image.
so again, and I cannot stress this enough. $1 billion IP, $1 billion company. This game, I'm walking around and I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it because there's a lot to like in this game. It is a good evolution of what that system is. I'm not a fan of this battle system. I would much rather it go to something a little more akin to the turn-based. I have my issues with it, but it's the moment to moment, the running around. The city is absolutely dead. There's fucking, I think Lumios might have a population of 40 people, judging by what I'm seeing when I run around the streets of this fucking city. There's
Okay,
no one
okay,
anywhere
okay.
ever. I'm not saying, look, I know you're probably thinking, oh, whatever, it's a problem running
No,
the
no,
game.
not at
No,
all.
I'm just saying that this city it doesn't feel alive in any way. And the thing is, if you're telling me that the whole game takes place in this fucking city, then I would expect that if you only have one location for the game, that you would make it an actual location that is lively, that feels like it's lived in, that feels like an actual part of the world that is Pokemon, with people running around, Pokemon all over the place, not just everyone standing in place doing fuck all
Okay,
or
so
not being there whatsoever.
I'm all for shitting on this game, but there's a few things I feel like don't deserve it. So first, one of the things is regarding the hand holding aspect. You're not that far from when they'll just let you do whatever you want. So you can either do
But
side
at
missions.
5 hours though,
Yeah, no, the tutorials. That's one of the biggest gripe with this game. The tutorial's so fucking long. And yes, I know I'm stuttering. And so today, Junior. Um, but the thing about the city being dead, I don't agree with that because especially like on the main streets or you see in the side streets, there's always people and Pokemon. There's always, I always find that there's people. I wouldn't
there's
see.
people, but nothing is like happening.
Are you expecting a crowd
It's
where you have to
just
wait in line to go ahead to the next area? Like I don't.
compare it to when you get to the main city in like Metaphor, or when you get, or when you're even passing by a secondary location in like a Persona game. It looks like there's shit happening in that city. Here, it's just sort of like a big empty space with a couple of NPCs standing around and some Pokemon that are just kind of there. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna
I
have
would
to
just feel like for the
respectfully disagree
scope
there.
of what this is, I would expect so much more. And then for just little things, like at this point, you're telling me that with so many of these fucking games that you guys have come out now, you can't even add like a little bit of voice acting in this fucking game.
Yes, a
None of the game is
hundred
voice acted,
fucking
right?
percent. None of the Pokemons have had voice acting, but this one
No,
in
no, people.
particular, they had some really amazing cutscenes or just moments where like it would have been so much better with voice acting. But the fact that there's nothing kills the mood a kind of tiny bit.
Yeah, like why can't some of the characters just have even just a few voice lines? Not even maybe like full on voice acting, just like a little voice line. And then it's just also, I don't know, I feel like this game just needs a distinct visual identity instead of this like it looks like an up-resed GameCube game. And again, it's just I feel like this game's gonna get a pass because it's Pokemon. And that, Scarlet and Violet were such a low bar, and this definitely is better than that. That, oh yeah, well, by comparison, it's great. Okay, cool. But at the same time, if you cook me a steak and it's fucking basically rubber, but the last thing you fed me was a turd, of course I'll be happy.
What
And
what
that's
this
kind of
game
Yeah.
what
It
this game strikes to me is the company just testing like testing prototypes for games
yeah.
and releasing them, and it
Throwing
seems
shit.
like,
But they know,
yeah,
but that they know is gonna sell because it's Pokemon and they
exactly.
know people are gonna buy it. Like
I
it's
will
And
literally,
say
it's like Stockholm syndrome for the fucking fandom. Like they're gonna buy this and they're gonna love it because oh, it's Pokemon. But you guys all deserve better. Holy shit, this company can afford to make a game that is infinitely better than what this is. And for some reason, they refuse to just even try. And
But it's
maybe
been
it's the fact that they're
years.
not giving them the time and the money to do it. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to really necessarily blame the dev because we all know that Nintendo was in charge. And apparently, according to that leak that we're going to talk about later, the budget for this game was like $20 million or something, which come on, guys. 20 million? You make that off of like one fucking release of cards when you have everyone fucking bludgeoning McDonald's employees to death to get them to then leave the food out the window because they want the limited edition card or whatever that it came with. Like it's just there's so much more that they could be doing, and it's so frustrating when it just seems like there's something there and they are just not executing. And it's not even that they're not executing because they're trying, because it's so fucking clear that they're not only are they not trying, they don't give a shit. They really don't. This game is just literally a giant middle finger to in the shape of a fucking Pokemon. Like if
what
this
now.
game is basically this game is literally there's Steam games made by teams of like a handful of people that can make something that is so much better than this. And yet for some reason Nintendo is going to get the pass. And
Okay.
again, from what I've played, it's not even like I've disliked so much of what I've played. But the fact that I like what I've played, but then also I'm seeing what I'm seeing is what makes it so much more frustrating. Because holy fuck, man, you guys have this IP and that is just the biggest thing in the world. More kids probably right now can identify Pikachu versus something like Mickey Mouse. And you're telling me that this is the fucking game that you choose to produce. This goddamn thing is what is representing your IP. And then something like you look
I
at a studio like Persona, not a studio, but a game like Persona, and a studio like Sega and Atlas, and they come out with these crazy games with these crazy visuals. The fucking start menu in a Persona game has more visual flair than all of this, the entire fucking Pokemon ZA.
I'm
Now,
gonna
with that being
I'm
said,
yeah.
I just gotta say the gameplay loop's still kind of fun though. It's still kind of fun, believe it
It's
or not.
it's whatever. It is what
But
it is.
Manny,
Oh,
it's
it's nightfall. Now go into this thing,
100%.
beat three, four
I'm
people to
not
get points to get a ticket to go and fight this one person to then
I'm not
and it's
disagreeing
like
with you. These are genuine issues that we've seen plagued for the last 3-4 games. Not just Arceus, not just Scarlet and Violet. We saw this with Sun and Shield, no, Sword and Shield as well, and then we started seeing it a bit with was it Sun and Moon? So it's like these are issues that people have been voicing to Game Freak and
I
Nintendo for
think,
years now.
but 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 I think okay. So because the thing is, the Pokemon games just started like on handhelds, right?
Yeah,
So because of the hardware limitation, I guess you can say that like they never evolved, past what it was because of the limitation of the hardware. But there hasn't been a good, like a decent Pokemon game ever since
the
Nintendo
3DS.
released the Wii, the 3DS, the Switch 2 now, and I think that's the biggest problem. It's because they've just kind of stagnated, but dude, the Wii came out what, like 15 years ago? I don't even know, but like it's not 3, 4 games. Like it's like the last like almost 2 decades
Well,
that they haven't been
even
able
with
to
the
solve
Wii,
this
even
issue.
with the Wii, there weren't any mainline Pokemon games that came out of it. It was the 3DS and then jumped to the Switch. And so people could use
Uh,
the stupid excuse that it was the Switch's hardware limitation. And sure, people are gonna use that same fucking excuse with
you can't tell me that it's a Switch's hardware limitation when they can make Breath of the Wild on
Breath of
that
the
fucking
Wild,
100%.
thing.
exactly.
And I agree with you. And I agree with you. I'm just waiting for them to fucking announce the next Pokemon game for the Switch 2. And the moment they don't say that it's also coming on the Switch 1, I don't want people to use that fucking excuse anymore as to why Game
Yeah,
Freak can't make a solid game.
and
These
and
people shouldn't have that excuse in the first place. That's all it
uh,
is. And
Yeah.
it's just like it's frustrating because you can really tell that they don't care. They're going to do the bare minimum because at the end of the day, it's the least amount of money spent for the most amount of money that's coming in. And with Pokemon, money is always coming in, right? But it's just like
But
man,
something to laugh about the amount
you
of money that they
you
invested in
guys
this game.
could make. I would love it if there's some alternate universe out there where fucking Atlas was making a Pokemon game. Can you guys imagine what an insane game this would
I
be?
mean, they did. It's called Persona.
Yeah, but imagine if it was that of the fucking Pokemon IP, right? Like, because that's, let's face it, that is what people want. Like,
Mhm.
I can't trust Nintendo to come out with anything Pokemon that's gonna be even close to what people not only expect, but at this point, what they deserve. Because like, this is not a new IP. The Game Freak has been making these fucking games forever. You guys have the capability. If you don't have the fucking manpower, hire the manpower, because it's not like you don't have the money. You all know you have the money, because if you don't have the fucking money coming in from the video games that you're making and selling like a motherfucker, you have it coming in from all the money you're extorting from everyone with your fucking legal team suing everyone as soon as a toddler draws a fucking Pikachu.
Okay, so is there another game that someone wanted to discuss what they're playing, or do we jump into like the Gen 10 leaks?
I mean, my brother and I could talk about Silk Song, but then
Yeah, go talk about a game made by 14 people that's so much better than fucking Pokemon in terms of quality. Let's hear it. I do want to know what you guys think of it. I know you like it, but
Because we're also at the hour mark,
oh my god,
and
we
I'm
are
just
at the 1 hour mark.
I'll let you start, Deepu, because
No,
we don't think.
I mean we could just skip and just go into the
Yeah,
news because it's
I
been
mean
out
Silk
for long
Song.
enough.
It's Silk Song is really good. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's
Let's
amazing.
move on.
Frustrating as fuck, but I'm having so much fun getting my ass kicked in.
it's
Go.
because like now we're gonna go into the Gen 10 leaks, and Manny, like I would like for you to do like the whole rundown of like what the roadmap looks like until I think the 30 until 2030, right? And that's
Basically.
when they're gonna have like the next generation of Pokemon.
Yeah.
But
So
do you mind? Yeah.
there was Gen 10 leak. So there's a big leak. Like Game Freak got like hacked or something, and there's a lot of information that came out. Send around Gen 10, Gen 11, budget details because Nintendo's usually hush hush about how much their games cost. And so that was kind of interesting to see. And there's also a kind of like a side project that they're currently working on, which is a multi gen Pokemon remake, but that's kind of like an MMO as well. So let's start off with the Gen 10. So Gen 10. It's going to be supposedly called the Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves, and it's set to release around 2026. And the entire theme of this game is Infinity. And the reason how that works is because supposedly the islands in this game are going to be procedurally generated, as well as you're going to have something called a seed Pokemon, which is basically a Pokemon that's going to evolve and it's going to look different from player to player. It's because it's going to depend on what islands you go to, and also considering that the islands are procedurally generated, they're kind of like working on this project that's going to be like a unique Pokemon experience for everyone.
Well, hold on. But so this is like a whole new set of Pokemon. This is like a whole new generation. Is
Usually
that what we're
between
talking about?
generations, if we're talking the mainline games, they introduce new Pokemon. So it's if we're following that train of logic, yes. But then the seed Pokemon, yes, it's also going to be a new unique Pokemon.
I just think infinite variation to me just sounds like a marketing headline. Like it to me, like is it just like is it going to change anything in terms of the mechanic? Is it going to change like like the abilities, like how you play, or is it just a cosmetic, morph with different looks and
I
the
think it
same
might
move
be a
sets?
cosmetics and also like
So for
maybe
me,
stats and all
yeah.
that stuff. But like
Eh,
when I think of infinite variations, I just think of No Man's Sky and what that was a disappointment. And
I just think
so
of Pokemon
t- t-
ZA, and I'm like, you guys made this, and you want to make infinite shit,
it,
and you
it,
were looking
it
at a procedural generation. You guys can barely make a fucking Flash game of a Pokemon.
I think for me, like the other thing, and Manny, like I don't know if you mentioned it, but there's like weather moves, right?
yes.
Okay,
So
so that to me, like, is there more detail on that?
no, all we know that it has to be weather focused. So the entire game is the battle mechanics to be weather focused. I'm not sure how that's currently is in the current titles where you can have moves where it starts raining or it's sunny and then your Pokemon is stronger.
So that's actually cool because and to go a little bit on the positive but yet skeptical, like the weather moves to me is something that could be tantalizing, but it is very vague at this point. But obviously, it's a leak. It could be huge because it could change how you actually build your team and the team that you actually bring into the battle. Because if like let's say if there's like shifting like stage hazards or
Mhm.
like a weather chain, like you can actually use that as like strategy, right? And to like defeating
Yeah.
your opponent. Obviously the leak doesn't give any specific. What I'm worried about is that it's just like a puff of like marketing language, and then it's just going to become like a single gimmick or a single new move that seems clever on paper but like very shallow in practice because they
And
haven't really shown to me that they're able to do, something new. And again, like, not to hate, but Mega Evolution, Mega EX, nothing different. And then they introduced Gigantamax or whatever. That too was nothing. Like, they talked about it, like the trailers looked fantastic, but in practice it
I
was
think
just
it
a
was a
game.
cool system during that time. It just felt like a different version of Mega Evolutions, and so it's kind of nice to see them come back to that.
Because like, I feel like weather moves could be like a systemic redesign, like on the battle system. Like, that could be really, really cool, because as Taz said, I am more of the turn-based, category, but I
Yeah.
think it could be very nice if they implemented turn-based with these weather moves. But
I'm a bit
We were
curious on
shown.
how the battle mechanic will actually work, because currently, like, you can use moves to change the weather, I guess, the effects happening in the battle environment. But as soon as the opponent, if you like has, I don't know, like rainy day, as soon as your opponent cast something else like sunny day, it'll overwrite your change. So I wonder how they're going to translate that if it's just like a move you do.
the other thing that I was gonna mention, Manny, is did they? Because like, I remember reading this very quickly, but they were talking about raid battles, right?
Yes.
Do you remember reading that, like the MMO raid battles? Do you want to like go
Well, so
into it?
raid battle is not something new. This was introduced in the Scarlet and Violet.
Raid Shadow
So it's
Legends.
basically, and I think Sun and Sword had that too, where it's you kind of like you're fighting like a stronger giant, a Titan version of a Pokemon, and then you all get the chance to capture it at the end. So they're kind of going with that based on the league, kind of like the progression system. It's not just going to be gym leaders; it's also going to be Titan Pokemons.
Tight, yeah.
And so that was something we saw in Arceus. So to move throughout the game to kind of like unlock new features, the new biomes, you would have to defeat the Titan Pokemon of that region. It didn't really have gym battles as far as I remember.
And one of the other thing, and because like, I know, I think it was like Taz or whatever.
I'm
Like, you
just
guys
gonna
mentioned like a very small budget, but
So it's very
they.
interesting because their Scarlet and Violet DLC cost them about 3 million USD, which was the
Mm.
entire cost of Arceus.
But did they mention? So okay, so and because it's been a while since I
Yeah.
read this, but like, they're putting more money though onto this.
Yes. So it's like
So
progressively getting more and more. So like supposedly ZA had a budget of around 13 million USD, which is about 2 billion yen, and now Winds and Wave is supposed to have a budget of 3 billion yen, which is about 20 million USD.
look, I mean, it's not like insignificant either. Like, it's
No,
still like,
that's if we're comparing
seven
it to
eight
games
million.
like if we're comparing it to games like Expedition 33, which had a budget of what $5 million or
But
something.
that's the thing. Like, to me, like, it doesn't automatically mean it's like a proof of polish. Like, it's not because it's a higher budget, like it's gonna promise,
Yeah.
whatever. But I think what my hope is, and just to kind of be a bit more positive after the rant, I just think that hopefully with this, with more money, they're able to add like better tech, better, fewer performance compromises, because it would be nice if the game was switched to only,
Hmm.
right? And just upgrade to the art, because like, I'm looking, and as Taz was talking, I was like watching gameplay of it, and I don't like the cartoony aspect of it. I feel like Pokemon needs like an overhaul in terms of
I
its
mean,
design.
considering the nature of the game, I don't think that's ever going to change because I
Yeah.
think like it's just the art style that fits the most. And like, look,
Mm.
Taz might not have like I agree with a lot of his points regarding ZA, but like personally, I still am very much enjoying the game. I mean, and I'm not saying it doesn't have its flaws. It blatantly has a lot of fucking flaws, and but like also I think it's kind of like as Manu put like Z especially they're trying out these new things and that's kind of like what we're going to see in the mainstream
Hmm.
mainline games because like if there was a leaked screenshot where you see two different panels and you see again creatures in the open world and it almost seems to point that it's going to be a very similar gameplay style to ZA in the sense that like it's going to be less turn based now and more of a real-time Pokemon battle.
I mean,
And
look,
so,
for the
yeah.
visual style, just to reiterate, I'm not looking for, you know, realism. I'm not looking for like ray tracing. I don't need any crazy shit. Literally, give it even just a cell shady kind of
Yeah.
look.
Also, don't
Make it
paint
look
balconies and windows on your buildings, actually put them there for so they'd look less like you. It would took you 5 minutes to design the entire fucking game.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
just partner with Atlas, man. Take that visual style. And
It
that's because the thing with that style is not only does it look great, it ages so well too.
It
Pokemon
does.
ZA just came out now, and I feel like I'm 12 again because I've clearly traveled back to fucking 1997. You know what I mean? Like, it's just you guys can, again, you can do better. And even if this was graphically the way that it is, but they just modified the visual style a bit to be a little more cartoony looking and not whatever this style is, it would look better.
I have to say the part of the leak that caught my attention was the fact that once you apparently unlock the siege Chero's ability, you can beeline towards the end of
go
the game,
yeah, straight to
Yeah.
the end of the
which
game.
is
Yeah,
very
that's
much
that
like
is.
Breath of the Wild. So that'll be interesting to see what
Maybe this
people
is
what.
gonna be the Breath of the Wild version of Pokemon.
Sure.
I mean, who
Okay.
knows? But so just I
Yeah.
guess in general, like obviously nobody likes leaks. It kind of spoils the surprise. Are you guys still like excited? Like I know, like now I guess we have a roadmap of what's to come, right? From 2026 all the way to like 2030, right?
Yeah.
Is does that kind of flatten the surprise a little bit for you guys? Are you guys still looking
Personally,
forward to Pokemon Day? And
personally, I'm not like
I don't think it moves the meter at all for
yeah,
anyone.
like I'm still
Mhm,
very skeptical. Like the only reason I picked up
yeah,
ZA because, like I said, my girlfriend wanted to play it, and when I saw her play, I'm like, this kind of seems fun, and I've personally been enjoying it. And like the
hmm
next Pokemon game that they're gonna announce, I'm same thing. Unless I'm picking it up for her, like I'm not gonna pick it up day one until I see reviews, until I see gameplay, until I see what to expect. Because it's kind of hard to just be disappointed over and over and over, and then still
But
want
even
to
reviews, I
spend.
feel like you can't really trust them because this game is sitting at like a 80,
81.
80 plus on Metacritic and OpenCritic. So it's like this is not an 80 plus game, guys. Like, let's be real here.
Look,
But
visual shit
again, look,
aside, it's fun. It's fun.
I
I
know
can
I've
see
only
why
played
it
5 hours,
yeah.
right? So I'm 5 hours in. I know it's, I guess, for a
it
game
could
like
be a
this
slow
early
build.
to be
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
that. But that said, like,
Maybe next week, next episode, you'll be changing your tune. Like, guys, I love this game.
I
My
don't think
entire
I'm going back
personality
to
is
it.
in
But
this
This is
game.
this is this is your Red Dead Redemption 2 test.
dude, I'm having so much more fun with
Yeah.
something like Ball Pit compared to this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I
Not
have to.
comparable, but
And granted, yeah, two different games for
Two
sure.
different games, but then also this game
But
has such a long history of being disappointed. So it's like it's
well,
kind
that's
of hard
another
to walk
reason that
into
it's
it.
not. It's another reason that it's not moving the needle for me at all. Knowing all these details of what's to come, 'cause I'm
oh
like, oh
yeah.
yeah, cool. These are great ideas, but considering how you seem to execute everything when it comes to a Pokemon game, why should I be excited until I
Yeah.
actually see something concrete? And even then, we'll see.
So
I
one
have
thing
to.
that I will. Sorry, go on, Manu.
I was
Let me
gonna.
talk.
I was just gonna say, like, I have to say, like, I fell off of Pokemon after Scarlet and Violet because that game just kind of burned me out in like the
Yeah.
worst way. Like,
Mhm.
this piece of shit game. But the next leak about them potentially making an MMO style Pokemon is probably one that I will be checking out just because it seems to
Yeah.
be something completely different that they're trying. And
So
if there's multiplayer as well, then that is extremely enticing.
the one thing I just slightly want to mention because it's the only tidbit of news we have about Gen 11 before we move on to the multi gen remake is Gen 10 2026, Gen 11 2030. I'm kind of glad that they have such a long gap between games now because that
Mhm.
means they're able to they have more time to polish that turd. But yeah, Manu, for the multi-gen remake sounds really interesting because it's supposed to be like this one big open world game where you can
Mhm.
move from one region to another. You can basically
Mhm.
walk, and then the multiplayer aspect is what I'm also curious about the most. How
Yeah,
that's gonna
because
work.
typically Pokemon games you can battle someone through like the network, or you can trade, and you're limited at that. Actually, no, that's not true because in um, Scarlet and Violet, you can invite someone else and walk around. I believe yes, up to four
You see
players.
players walking around, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you
No,
can
you can
interact with
invite
them.
them. You can invite
Okay.
them to your. You can have like four players, but like you're still limited to what you could do.
Hmm.
This would be really neat if you can see more than four. You can see
Yeah.
it'd be like a fully fledged MMORPG type
And
game.
they're also going into older regions, which are like the Hoenn, so like that's Ruby and Sapphire, and then also Sinnoh for like Diamond and Pearl. So it's like those are kind of well loved worlds. It's kind of nice to see those worlds brought back to life in a new setting and like new gameplay style. Taz looks so dead inside right now. Like he's like,
It's
It's okay. It's
I
okay. Look.
recognize why this IP is as big as it is.
Yes.
I just don't understand why they're incapable of really capitalizing on it in a way that is beneficial to players as opposed to just treating us all like pieces of shit.
Maybe they just
I,
really can't develop a game properly. This is, I think it's more of a Game Freak issue
You're
than a
I don't
Nintendo issue.
you're Nintendo. I don't give a fuck. You have no excuses.
Well, so
You
the
have
Pokemon
literally
IP
oh,
isn't just
I know it's not just owned by Nintendo,
yes.
it's or whatever bullshit. I get it, but Nintendo is putting out these games and it's only on Nintendo consoles.
Hmm.
They're the ones dishing out the money, if I'm not mistaken, for them. So if your studio is incapable of delivering on a quality product, either find another studio
They can't because
or get some help.
Game Freak is I am fully behind them getting help. But the problem is Game
hmm
Freak owns a lot of the Pokemon rights.
Well, then players, you're all idiots if you're
Yeah,
gonna keep
but
giving them your
that's the thing
fucking
you're
money. I
mentioning.
don't
It's
know.
worth bringing
It's
up because you look
just
at these Mario games, look at Zelda games, Metroid, Kirby, Animal Crossing, all these Nintendo IPs. They're held to such high standards,
well, yeah.
and then you
because
look at
they
Pokemon.
evolved though, yeah,
Yeah,
but they all evolved, right? And buff, it's okay. Like let's,
It's
I
not
feel like,
okay, but it's
well,
okay.
as in,
You know,
there
like
you go. Yeah,
it is
especially
what it is
considering
what
this
it
it is
game
what
was
is.
it is.
$100 Canadian.
It is what it is.
Manu, I feel like you're stuttering via message. I don't understand what the fuck this
Was that a
means.
segue?
Risky
Yeah,
business
You
releasing
you
test game
you know you don't have
plus
to type it. You can
whatever
just say it.
Quantic Dream
I did
doing
not
risky.
have the opportunity to.
Well,
Well,
do it
look,
now,
I'm
Mano.
editing this out, so go ahead.
No, you're not editing this out. Please. This
No,
stays.
the
Say it,
context is not
Mano.
there.
I don't know how to say it.
Manu forgot to read.
Oh man,
I know you're trying to pivot somehow into Quantic Dream. I just want to know what the fuck your message means in our chat over here.
listen, it just sounds to me like um, Nintendo is doing all sorts of risky things by releasing like these unreleased games. Just like Quantum Dream is trying to do risky business by releasing a multiplayer game. Segue.
We'll give you
Hey,
points
he
for
did
effort.
it.
His first segment of the podcast.
Oh god.
Good job, Mano.
So I didn't know who Quantum Dream was before I read up on this, but they've
Quantic.
Quantic Dreams.
This is a
But
video
yeah,
game
they
podcast, by the way.
I know. But I don't play any narrative games, right? Which is what they're known for. And I believe
Yeah,
They
you have played a
did
lot of them.
Detroit.
Detroit.
Yes.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, Detroit, Almost Human, Indigo
Heavy Rain,
Prophecy, Heavy Rain,
Beyond Two
Beyond Two
Souls,
Souls. So these very single player, extremely narrative games.
and this is a pivot, you can say.
And now they're like, hey, let's make something that's kind of similar, but also not that whatso fucking ever. And they decided to make a competitive multiplayer game. Um,
I mean, but why is
yeah,
that?
the
Why is
best
that?
way I could look at this was literally Jason Schreier's, I guess, tweet, if you want to call it, on Blue Sky, where he says, a company with decades of single player experience pivoting to multiplayer? Well, it worked for Anthem, Suicide Squad, FBC Firebreak, Redfall, Marvel's Avengers, and all those PlayStation games. So, of course, why wouldn't it work for this company that has absolutely no experience in it? Now, granted, they're taking the risk, and obviously, I'm all for a studio trying new shit, so that's all well
hmm
and good. But, oh man, this is a market they're trying to get into that is so hard to get into right now.
It is, but I will still
It,
give them the benefit of the doubt just because they've released such polished games. And if we're talking about even if we're just jumping from like Game Freak, that's one company I would trust to play
and
around with a new
I,
genre.
I I would agree because I think Manny, like, I think both of us, we talked about Detroit and how much we really
Love it.
enjoyed that game.
Hmm.
Phenomenal game. Heavy Rain is a great game, right? Like, I am skeptical because the multiplayer live service market is very brutal. Like, we all know that, right? Like, you need a compelling loop. There's the polish is just like relentless. And you need a reason for players to come back. But if it's real, I can see a path where this could be interesting. So let's say, for example, Quantic Dreams. sorry, Quantic Dream, they use what they're good at, which is storytelling, right? Storytelling is in their DNA. So let's say they create a multiplayer game where the narrative impacts the live meta.
Mhm.
That could honestly carve a niche, and that's going to be its own separate type of game. And I feel like that's where they can bring a new crowd to play these types of game, right?
Yeah,
So
so they
think of
actually did
maybe, yeah,
reveal what details on the game. Sorry to cut you off there. So
no
I'm just gonna
problem.
read what their details are. So it's a team-based 3v3 strategy and action game in a fantasy setting. Players take control of spellcasters, which is also the title of the game, who are, quote, archetype-driven mages with their own abilities, roles, and signature abilities, including summoning creatures and casting spells. Players are able to fly around the arena to control the battlefield. Each match is played as a 3v3, fast paced 25-minute showdown across mystical arenas of epic scale and verticality where teams must capture altars to gain territory, blah, 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 blah.
Oh my god, there's no
There's no
narrative in
hopes.
So
there.
I will give them I'm definitely giving them the benefit of the
Yeah.
doubt, and it's
uh,
the fact that I doubt this game will be alive a year after they release it.
Right. But then also in the news article you guys had linked, they're talking about how they since 2018 had grown their company, had brought in
yeah.
external talent, opened up new studios even in Montreal and like new headquarters in Paris. So it's like they're clearly bringing in the resources necessary to work on this project. So there is a chance this could be good.
And they're
Um,
also still working on that Star Wars game that was announced like 5 years ago that we don't know anything about. I
Yeah,
don't know if you guys knew that.
I feel like it's okay to be skeptical, but like at the end of the day, it's
Ay, ay, ay.
Hey, it's either people might be pissed that they're taking time away from another good narrative experience, but at this point, it's like it's either going to be a game we can laugh at or a game where we're going to be like, "Fuck, we really want to play this."
I
Man,
mean,
my
look,
idea.
I can hope it succeeds. I just genuinely don't think it will, and that's not a knock on the studio. I just think that this is a genre right now that's pretty much so saturated that it's hard to tell people, yeah, come play this when there's offerings like again, Fortnite, Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, and just so many others on Steam.
but I
It's
mean those games
it's
also released when well not Fortnite, but like Marvel also released when the market was so saturated, and look how well it
Maybe, but
did.
Marvel has the benefit of the IP.
Yeah, but
This game is something that's brand new IP as well, and it's always so hard to get a new IP to take off. Whereas something like Marvel, if you don't know anything about arena shooters, I can probably get someone to actually just download the game and play it based on the fact that it's Marvel heroes alone.
right, but also we're talking about this with very little detail about how the game might actually look like at the end. So maybe they're like kind of bringing in their own flair to maybe they're kind of thinking outside of the box with the competitive multiplayer scene, and yes, the markets are like overly saturated, but there are very few games that are at the top. The ones you mentioned, Rivals and Fortnite, are really the only main contenders out there. Unless I'm thinking about something else, Overwatch is kind of like dead in the waters right now, and nothing else really comes to mind on top of my
There's a
head.
lot of people playing Battlefield, a lot of people playing COD, and yeah, I get that it's not the same kind of game as this, but people love to just have their game and play it. A
Yeah,
lot of people might
Mhm.
check this out. I'm sure it's going to be that same cycle where it initially comes out, there's a big player base. They say, "Oh yeah, we have, X number of concurrent players. We're very excited, blah blah." And then like 2 months later, there's a massive drop off because that's just how these games, work. And then eventually it's just sort of you either stop hearing about it and it's just sort of kept alive by whatever player base still is there, or 12 to 18 months later they're like, yeah, we're just going to stop supporting this because in the end it's just not worth it
yeah.
anymore.
so the studio was acquired by NetEase in 2022,
Well,
which
that might explain
explains
why.
why the pivot towards this.
Oh.
Well, I
Um,
Well,
guess I guess we'll all be
Quantic Dream is dead.
I guess we'll be keeping an eye out on it though
yeah,
coming up.
I'm on the fence, but leaning towards doubt. I guess that's just, yeah.
You know what we're not doubtful of is the next expansion for Expedition 33.
I like Manu segue better. Just
Okay, well,
saying.
I was gonna say the
You know
same
what's
thing,
not
but
risky business?
um,
free as well on top of that, right?
yeah,
Like that's
so
yeah.
amazing
Sanfon
news.
Interactive announced that they're working on a free expansion for Expedition. That there's no current release date, but it's going to have new challenges, new endgame bosses, new costumes if you like that, and some quality of life updates to the game as well, and some other surprises that they teased that they're going to talk about later on.
This is so perfect because I've been wrestling with the idea of doing another playthrough of the game, and
hundred
this
percent
could
same here.
not be tough. This is a perfect timing, and especially on some new challenging endgame bosses. I'm curious to see how much, because Simon already was probably one of the hardest fight I've ever done in a turn-based RPG game. So I'm curious to see how they're going to pivot that to make
I'm
it even
thinking
more
about doing a
harder.
second playthrough, and I might not even do Simon again this time.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
sad.
What a good fucking game.
Oh
Anyways, I
man.
mean, like, chances are it might be game of the year this year.
Speaking of risky business,
So to round up the episode, we're gonna have a discussion question about the Video Game Awards. So they currently have not shown what games are gonna be nominated for what category. So we thought it'd be a fun idea to kind of go through the list or just mention games that we'd want to see mentioned at the Video Game Awards.
I have a question.
Shoot.
Okay, so is Expedition 33 considered as an indie title? Because if it is considered as an indie title, they are going to wipe the floor and they're going to win everything.
I don't know if they'll
So
win
is
best
that
fighting game.
no, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
would you guys consider it
yes,
as an indie
yes, it
game?
will.
But no, but for real, because the thing is, if you look at it, Blueprints came out this year, right? Like, I would not be surprised if Blueprints is at least nominated for Game of the Year. It's an indie
Yes.
title. Ball Pit, indie title, could potentially be nominated for, let's
I
say,
mean,
Game of
it's
the
Ball
Year.
Pit an indie title. It's with Devolver Digital, isn't it? I think. And at this point, I feel like they're big
I,
enough that it's like I don't. What is even the definition of indie? First off, because that's
I think
something
it's
that.
dependent on the studio because it's the studio's first game. I'm pretty sure whatever studio made because the developer is the publisher, right?
yeah, I think so too.
Individuals or
But
smaller development team. Uh,
Yeah, but honestly, dude, I would not qualify Expedition as an indie game because let's face it, a lot of people are saying, yeah, it's 30 people, but come on, you're telling me you didn't have like oodles
they
of
had
contractors
contractors and
and
yeah, I get it. But like, but that's why when I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, well, if by definition we say that this is an indie title, of course it's gonna clean up. Like it's gonna win best soundtrack. It's gonna win probably like best what was it?
dude,
Like audio.
they're gonna find a way to have this game. This game, the narrative around it, and just how much people loved it. I wouldn't be
Mhm.
surprised if it wins best fucking sports racing game.
Best sim slash most
I,
anticipated.
I think
No, but for
I
real,
think it
yeah,
will be nominated as an indie game because like no
Well,
matter like
I
even
think so
other
too.
smaller studios have
yeah.
hired contractors to work on the game. Yeah, sure, not to the scale of this game, but it's still considered a relatively small studio in the grand scheme of like the gaming industry.
And you know what though? Like it's kind of. I mean, I know that it's 2 months away or something like that. Which one we should watch it together, like always. But two, man, 2025 has been an insane year for video games. There's just so much good stuff, like that's coming out, and well, sorry, that came out, and also that's coming out because we have Metroid. That's probably not going to make the cut because I think in terms of I think in order to like place your game, I guess for an award, the game needs to come out by mid-November or something like
Yeah,
that.
that
And I
game's not coming out
think
till like December 4th.
yeah, exactly. So Metroid is not going to make the cut, but it'll be eligible. But still, like there's Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, fine, whatever. That's the Switch 2 edition. But Hades 2, Clear Obscure, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Silk Song,
Split Fiction about
75%
Monster
of
Hunter
us didn't like
Wild.
Split Fiction, but yes, exactly. Death Stranding 2, I know Manu doesn't like the guy, but Death Stranding 2 is a great game. Monster Hunter Wilds, I remember you guys talking about it early in the year. You guys were like
Fuck,
raving
that was
about it.
this year. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
but that's the thing, right? So there's so many great quality games. There's a Shinobi, there's a Citizen Sleeper 2, Mario Kart World, Ghost of Yote. Like
Silk
there's
Song.
yeah, like
Okay,
there's
so
yeah.
Look, there's a lot of categories that are listed on the rundown that you want us to go over deep. So
We don't have to go through
here's
it
no,
because
but
it's a long
here's
list.
what I'm going to do to shorten it up. Right,
Okay.
I've highlighted a few here that I think Expedition is going to win.
100%.
Art
Does
direction.
anyone disagree?
Well,
I
okay,
I'm
so
gonna
think I
name
do
as
like
I'm
art
gonna name the
direction.
categories
Sure,
for the
yes.
for the benefit of the anyone that's actually listening to us in this void of
I would give art
viewers.
direction as well.
Yeah,
Hold
art
on.
direction.
There's a reason I didn't go our direction right away. Just let me go. Look,
Okay, go
here's
ahead.
what I'm going to name that I think Expedition is going to take, so we can just automatically check these off of our list, so we don't have to get into them.
Sure.
Best narrative,
Yes.
Yes.
everyone agrees. Best
Hmm.
game direction, everyone agrees.
Ripley agrees
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Completely agree.
Best score in music, no contest. I'm not even asking you guys. Audio
No.
design,
Says the guy
I
doesn't
think it
listen to
also.
music, but sure, okay.
No, he's saying
What?
that because we love it, you know.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Yeah. Now, best audio design, I think it's going to take it as well. And just the sound of a parry, I think, is
Yeah.
sublime.
Hmm.
Best performance, one of them is bound to take it. And of course, best RPG. I mean, I think these are all
Uh,
ones that we can tick off that Expedition has in the bag.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
Unless you guys think any of these have another contender
Maybe
that
best
is worthy
performance.
of
Well,
Maybe there's some other
consideration.
contenders,
best,
but like I can't think on top of my
you
head.
know, for best game direction, and like I said, like I haven't played it, but after reading, and listening to, let's say, Easy Allies, and just really listening to reviews, Death Stranding 2, people talk about how this is arguably Kojima's best direction. Like it's a really, really well directed game. The creative controls and like the whole systems behind the game, like with the story, it's not that there's an art. Like I feel like there could be an argument to be made and saying that Death Stranding 2 could win game direction,
Well,
because when
look,
you have like these pioneers talking about this being Kojima's one of best direction, like it has to at least be in the mix. It has to be in the conversation.
I think they should just introduce a category called best Hideo Kojima game. Because this is Jeff Keighley's thing. He loves Kojima, and I mean, at this point, why not just give the guy an award every year for something, right?
Yeah.
But no,
It's just, yeah,
I
it's
still
like,
think Expedition might take best game direction. But if you want to discuss it, we can discuss it. Art
Yeah.
direction, I think, is something a little more nuanced. That something like, even let's say something like Hades can easily have best art direction. I mean, Deep, you and I are always talking about the the character designs in that
God,
game
I still
and
want a
just the
tattoo of
overall
like a
aesthetic, the
character.
overall graphical style of that
Mm.
game.
Like,
what about
did you guys see? I'm sure you all saw like that 2 minute trailer that they released for the Switch, which was like an animated short. What felt
Yeah.
like
Wasn't the
No, I
that
opening?
haven't
has
seen that actually.
phenomenal.
That's the
Sorry.
opening for the game. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
what
I haven't
about
played it yet. So
and again, like this is just just like spitballing, but like what about for the art direction Silk Song, considering that it's handcrafted environment and whatnot, like do you not think that maybe it
so
warrants?
so some of the categories Taz said yes, but then you're mentioning art direction and game direction. Yes, I think there are gonna be like some really strong contenders in that category, but then I think where Taz brought it, like what we's trying to say is like we wouldn't be surprised if Exhibition ended up sweeping across the board for all
Oh,
of them.
Yeah,
100%.
for art
I'm
direction,
Yeah,
I
like
expecting
can
more.
I'm not saying
see.
there's not going to be others that are deserving. It's
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
that
yeah,
I think
yeah.
with the narrative around Expedition this year and just the overall player goodwill, especially of,
So
not only is this a game that's fantastic, but it's made by not some giant corporate shit studio, and it was pretty well priced, and it's as amazing as it is, and they have free DLC coming out. Like,
So I wouldn't be surprised if Silk Song got nominated for art direction because you're right, the game is
Hmm.
beautiful, but it is also very similar to Hollow Knight. Same thing with Death Stranding too. And like as much as I dislike Kojima, the game, the art direction is you have to talk about it. But
Hmm.
Expedition is something brand new, like something that hasn't been released yet, which is why I
Yeah.
think it'll take it.
and even all the environment in the world is
Yeah,
it's familiar yet different. It's the fractured Paris, but it's also like everything is so twisted and warped, and it's
there's so many small
again,
nuances as
there's
well.
yeah,
I,
like there's
yeah.
familiarity, but it's obviously a very sort of chaotic
Yeah.
environment at
But
the same time.
I was thinking more like, sure. I mean, it's possible that Expedition 33, as Manny said, will sweep across the board. I'm just more curious about like what other games could compete with it, because Ghosts of Yote,
Yeah.
I could totally see them. I could totally see that game being nominated for best art direction
Yes, that
as
is
well.
definitely another game
Comparing,
that
Art
should
yeah,
and
be
game
nominated.
direction and
yeah,
narrative.
comparing Tsushima to Yote, you again based on like reviews that I've read, they say that it really is like night and day. It really takes like a step forward, even story wise too. Like the story is very very personal. It's very like geared towards like vengeance and whatnot, but it's like really 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 well done. Like it takes everything that Tsushima did and it just kind of makes everything better, right? So like I
I
wouldn't
mean,
be surprised.
I think aside from best RPG, Yote can
Mhm.
go toe to toe with that game in every
I think so.
category that
Yeah.
it's going to
What
get
makes
a
this year
nomination
so
in.
interesting because across the board we've had such good fucking games. So even like a
Yeah.
game like any other year, like we feel like Exhibition would have just won across the board. It's like now that you're mentioning it, there are such strong contenders for all these different categories. Just goes to show what kind of an amazing year we've had for video games.
No, absolutely. And like has anyone played Shinobi
No,
Art of Vengeance? Like
I
I was
played
like
the
looking.
demo and I'm just waiting on that to go on sale, but that game is very, very good.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Because like I saw gameplay of it and it looks phenomenal,
But
right?
it's not
Like,
winning
and
any. I don't think it's winning any
no, it's not
awards. It might
winning, but
win.
is
It
it
might
getting
maybe
nominated?
win. I think it would. I can see a nomination for Shinobi and Best Action Game.
Yeah, well, there you go, right? So but I think for action game, and we could talk about it. Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out, guys, right? So like that, 100%. Like if it lives up to the hype, I could definitely see it there. Monster Hunter Wilds. Could you not consider that as an action game, or is that more like would you guys put that in like another category?
no, I'll put that under action game.
So there could be a possible nomination as well. Like
Yeah.
I don't think Claire Obscure is going to win Best Action Game, right? So what game do you guys think could
Well,
possibly
it
win
would
action?
isn't Claire Obscure considered more of an RPG than an action
It's an
game?
RPG, exactly. So for me, like Best Action Game, I could see Monster Hunter Wilds. I could see Ninja Gaiden, right? Ninja Gaiden 4. Like, is Silk Song? No, I wouldn't put Silk Song. I think Silk Song.
Probably Hades. Honestly,
Hades, right? So I think that could be an action adventure. I would just give it
are
to Death
those two
Stranding too.
actual categories, or did you just write
No, those are actual
the
Those are two
I,
categories.
from
Yeah,
the
those
previous
are.
years. Yes, yeah.
Best Action and then Action Adventure Game?
Yeah, action adventure. Like for me, like I would put games like Death Stranding, Mafia, Assassin's Creed. Actually, Assassin's Creed
Do,
would be RPG,
do you guys think
right?
South of Midnight might get nominated for anything? Like maybe art
Nah,
direction,
Maybe art direction.
Yeah.
maybe
I don't
art
know. Maybe
direction or
narrative,
audio.
possibly.
narrative potentially. We have to give credits to the music in that game.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. It will be nominated possibly for best score in music. It's not
Yes.
gonna win, but it'll probably be nominated because yes, the music was great. I enjoyed the game, but it's not. I don't think it's gonna win an award.
I guess for Best
Best,
Action Adventure, probably DK Bonanza.
I think that could be best family
I
game.
think
I don't
that'd be
think it'll
best
win, but I
family.
think it'll get nominated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's
It'll get
fair.
nominated for sure. Yeah. And then if I'm kind of curious to know because we played this game a lot when it first came out. So best ongoing and best community support for Helldivers 2. And to me, best community support, I would say that there's a possibility that like Helldivers might actually win that because if you guys remember from the beginning, the devs were so directly engaged, right,
Hmm.
with the community. Their fast like content responses. Yes, there was a pause at one point, right, and it took a little bit of a dip, but that to me was like a fresher, like a breath of fresh air when Helldivers came out and the
But
engagement that we saw with the devs.
I don't know if the nosedive that the sentiment has taken as of
Yeah.
late is going to
Yeah.
affect that. But
I, I
I think
feel
it's a
like
very good contender for sure because it
I
is
think
still a
Marvel
good
Rival
game.
is definitely going to be on there for community support.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
For best
What about
multiplayer, like for best ongoing, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like World of Warcraft, just because they've been hitting the
hmm,
Oh,
pretty
especially with the
highs
Midnight expansion coming out soon.
exactly, and the new
Yeah.
Legion kind of re-release.
Oh,
But
for Classic.
By community support, does that just mean like developer support? I guess, or like 'cause
No,
that's
literally
that.
community, like the fan
yeah,
base.
yeah. Like the past couple years, like Final Fantasy 14 has won, just to give you
Yeah.
some insight
and
on it.
But what do they? What's that based on? What does that mean? Community support.
I figure it was just the community engagement with the general engagement, I guess, with each other, with the
Oh yeah.
devs. Um,
Okay.
But so I know the three of you played Monster Hunter Wilds. What
yes.
I like, I never, I didn't play it, but I've always read that Monster Hunter Wilds is a type of game where you get ongoing seasonal content, you get major patches. Wasn't there a crossover? Wasn't there like a Final Fantasy crossover or something?
So they have done that before. So the previous iterations
So,
have had Final Fantasy and like just Capcom as
okay,
well.
okay.
The reason I don't like
Well, they
on
had that
release,
this year too.
yeah, they added this year as well. But the reason I don't think it's gonna do that was because every time they release new content, it's been plagued by performance issues, and the game just gets tanked.
We haven't
But doesn't
had
it show
any.
like
We
a
haven't.
strong community?
Not
But no,
really.
but doesn't it show like a strong community outreach by like actively like feeding into the game and like trying
I
to
No, because
think
they
like
keep
I think
making
we
it
would see
worse.
that with Helldivers, like
Mm.
you said, because it wasn't just recently that they opened it up for Xbox players, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and then like
100%.
the
Yeah.
whole PC and PS5 fan base was helping more for the most part. The new Xbox players kind of get acclimated to the game, and so that would be an example where I can see like would even with the downside that we've had in between release and the update to Xbox, it's I think it would kind of topple its votes for community support.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
fair.
think Monster Hunter would win for
Any
community support.
Okay. And any like surprises? Like do you guys I mean like clearly I expect Ed Boon to come there and like announce Injustice 3. But is there
Well,
like
I
is
know,
that a
or we can
possibility?
expect Kojima to make an appearance.
Oh my god.
Obviously.
But like Taz, do you see that happening? Because obviously, I think there was like maybe like I forgot which Warner Brothers like executive whatever, but it was pretty much all but confirmed that Injustice 3 is coming, right? Like I don't think it's going to be a surprise if
Yeah.
there was a
I
trailer
mean,
or anything like that.
It
I
it
wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me to see another Injustice trailer.
it would just depend how long it is in its development. Like MK1 came out last year, or was it this year?
MK1 came out last year, I
But even
think.
2 years ago, even maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't last year. I'm
It's
definitely sure.
oh oh yeah, 2023. Yeah, September
Okay, so
2023. So
it
2
would
years
be
ago.
time around when they would announce, following like older trend cycles, to when they would announce the next step fighting
Let's
game.
not forget though, because the last time they announced the Mortal Kombat game at the Game Awards, the release date was like March, and people I remember like we were all losing our shit, being
I
like,
still
"What the
have
hell?"
that
Like,
video because we were making a reaction clip, and it was
yeah,
like
yeah,
me, Jazz, and Taz sitting on the couch. And the moment you see the lightning dragon, you look at like our camera, we all just sit up.
yeah. Yeah, seriously, that was like, "Shut up, everyone! Don't say anything." And then yeah, and then you have like
Yeah.
the rap song in there and all that. But to me, like it was crazy. Like 3 months, like so the game was like ready to go. So I mean, I don't expect that with Injustice, but to answer your question, Manny, because in the sheet you were wondering like if we, what kind of surprise will we want to see. I think that could be cool, like
Yeah,
having Ed Boon on stage and talking about like the next iteration, because the Injustice games were always fun, great story mode, right? And just a great set of characters, iconic characters.
yeah.
But do you guys
I
expect any other
I
surprises?
do definitely not a surprise, but like because they usually have like performances. I do expect a performance from Expedition 33.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh
hundred
yeah.
Yeah,
percent.
Oh, that's such a good one.
I mean the medley
I
that they do at the end is just
oh yeah,
phenomenal.
I this is a little
Yeah.
bit selfish, but I really hope they show anything for Kingdom Hearts 4
Oh
and
please, it's been forever.
Elder Scrolls 6. I just want to see something.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. Yeah. That's I mean, so that's actually interesting because there's that most anticipated category. So is this like an
Mhm.
actual award? Like for most
yeah,
anticipated game? Because
yeah.
Yeah,
that's kind
There's
of
Yeah.
weird
usually.
that
I
you
mean,
would
it's
get an
probably gonna
award
be
for that.
GTA. Like
Well,
let's be
yeah,
honest.
It'll be
it's
GTA.
Probably. Yeah.
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 or another future Kojima project. No, I'm kidding. But no, it'll definitely be GTA 6. But Taz, I mean, you're more of the fighting guy, like fighting type guy. There been any new fighting games that came out this year?
The only two that come to mind, I think City of the Wolves came out this year, I think. And then
Dude,
The
2XKO
but is
is the
that
only one.
fully announced as a release for this?
honestly,
No, 2XKO is still in beta, no?
It's
Yeah.
in early access now.
Okay.
You
and
can
here's the
go
thing.
and you can play it. Like it's available to play to everyone.
I think that if you look at the requirements of games that could be nominated, I think DLCs, expansions can now also be nominated. if there
Well,
was a Street Fighter like 2025 content release, like that's possible that might be
I mean, there's a
nominated.
character pass this year, but I don't think that necessarily. I don't feel like a character pass should make it that the game is eligible for this award.
I mean,
I was
Elden
looking through
Ring.
like the criteria, so
Do you remember the Elden Ring DLC got nominated for Game of the Year, and that
yeah,
blew
well, there you
everyone
go.
like that
Oh
caused
wait,
a lot of
Yeah, but
uproar.
it's
Nightwing
like
came out this year. I forgot about that.
yeah. But I feel like
Yeah,
with that, like I can kind of I don't agree with it, but I can see why it was because it's still like a big story expansion and whatever.
mhm.
Whereas for something like a fighting game, like it's new characters, but it's it's not. I don't see adding new characters in the same scope as adding to the
Hmm.
campaign of a game.
But it is
Yeah, so
comparing apples to oranges because we're comparing
Well,
like
yeah,
a single player game versus a fighting game. So like they're gonna handle DLC differently.
yeah, for sure.
like for
But
best fighting game, for example, like for Mortal Kombat, that big story DLC that they had come out, maybe that I guess, but
no,
not
Chaos Reign,
not.
yeah.
But if they just added a bunch of characters to Street Fighter, I don't know that
Hmm.
that would make it eligible. But again,
That's
that's me
fair.
talking out of my ass. Like
It's
who
just
who knows?
it's a very like there aren't that many games in that category, right? So I'm just curious what they're gonna do. Are they gonna go look for like the most obscure games that came out that we never heard of? Because
Well, I mean,
obviously
look, let's see
we don't
what
have
came
all the
out.
time.
Let's
Like yeah, we
came
don't
out
have all
this
the time
year.
in the world either.
So yeah, Fatal
But
Fury came out this year. And
Virtua
according to
Fighter
this
5, I think.
list, yeah, yeah, but that's Virtua Fighter 5 came out years ago. This is just another version of Virtua Fighter 5.
Uh,
So I don't know if that disqualifies it from consideration. Um, I don't even know what else came out. Something called
that's
Hunter X
crazy.
Hunter Nen X Impact. I don't know what the fuck
That
that
is
is.
an
it's an
anime fighting
anime.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I'm just curious like what they're gonna do with this
there's
category because
Capcom Fighting Collection 2, which again,
mhm.
it's a collection of old fighting games. But if this gets nominated, it has a good chance of winning because
If
it's
that
a
gets
good
nominated, they're
collection.
scraping the bottom of the barrel for fighting
But that's
games.
what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
Dude, these are
Yeah.
good fucking games, all right?
I'm not
Shut
saying
the
they're not,
fuck
but
up.
they're
yeah,
re-releases, they're
But I get
yeah.
it.
collections.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get it. Because if that's the case, then I guess Virtua Fighter is back up too. Um, I honestly
So
just
not
I think
much.
that I guess
Not
Fatal
much, not
They
Fury.
much.
I
could just
honest
skip that category altogether.
That is
maybe.
possible. That is
Yeah,
possible. Considering that, like, I mean, it could be like, okay, guys, like, there hasn't been like two new fighting games. We're not gonna have a category this
Yeah.
year. It's very possible. Like,
But also
sure,
maybe
they
there's some
haven't.
indie
I
games
just
that
think
we
Fatal
haven't heard
Fury is
about
gonna.
in the fighting
Yeah,
game scene that we might
I'm
have.
actually looking right now and I can't find any.
Okay.
So it feels like it was pretty bare bone this year, but that's okay. Like 2025 was still like a pretty amazing year for gaming, just not for fighting games, right?
Hmm.
Like Street Fighter
I mean, it
kept
was a
doing
good
its
year
thing.
for fighting games. It's not a good year for necessarily new releases, but
Yeah, yeah, you're
every
right. You're right.
fighting game got great updates, got new characters, new stages, new content altogether. So I wouldn't say it was a bad year for fighting games, maybe just for new
Mm.
releases, but
Even for us for fighting games,
that's
we all got Taz already had new fight sticks. Even though we're not really playing any fighting games.
Yeah, yeah, I'm picking up Mortal Kombat, but that's pretty much
I'm
it.
trying to learn Street Fighter slowly.
best yeah, so best debut indie and best independent game. I don't know, man. I don't know what's considered independent anymore.
I think
And
Oh my
debut
god,
indie
guys,
debut
would
indie, maybe
be
Blueprints, I think is the only thing
guys,
Yeah.
that comes to my mind.
yeah.
we completely forgot that Outer Worlds 2 is coming out, and that's probably gonna get nominated for best RPG, even if it's not gonna win. But I wouldn't be surprised. It's
You know, you
coming
were
out
you
in
were
like it's
asking what
coming out in 10
surprises
days.
you were asking what surprises we would like. I would like it if they just went and was like, yeah, so everything announced at this show and just all of gaming as a whole is taking a pause for 2026 and will resume in 2027 so that all of you can just catch up on your backlogs and just finish whatever you're playing
Yeah.
and not have to worry about a new release every
The only
fucking two and a
exception
half
to that is
weeks.
Where
GTA is gonna come out next year, and they need a year. Every other like developer needs a year break because people are gonna be
yeah,
too
pretty
busy playing
much.
GTA. Yeah.
God, that
There's
game, man,
yeah.
is gonna
Well,
just demolish everything in its path. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
yeah, but there's a new god damn it, a Sucker Punch game that's supposed to come out next year as well, right?
Uh,
Wait, is it Sucker Punch? It's
isn't Sucker Punch Ghost of
no, I'm
Yote?
sorry. It's the one that made Infamous there.
That is Sucker Punch.
Oh, but you know what I'm talking about? There's a new Sony PS5 exclusive
Oh, you
game.
mean Naughty Dog?
Naughty Dog. There you go.
Oh, the something prophecy, heretic or whatever, the
Yeah,
heretic prophecy.
yeah. But see, like that game is supposed to come out next year. So
I don't know according to who. I haven't read anything. They didn't say anything about release dates.
Intergalactic. Yeah.
Wait, is that the sequel to Returnal?
No. It's
No,
just
the
it's a
sequel to
brand new
Returnal was called
IP.
Returnal 2.
No, guys, hold on. No, Soras, Saros. Sorry, Saros.
Saros. That's not a sequel to Returnal, is it?
It's
It's
based
not a
on the.
sequel.
It's not a sequel, but it essentially is because it's the same universe.
Yeah, dude. Oh man. Like I mean, honestly, Returnal was a really really fun game. But is that game so that game is coming out in March. So yeah, I mean I guess Sony is going to be releasing games regardless
Hmm.
of
I just want them
GTA's
to put Yote on PC sooner than later.
It's going to come out next year,
Yeah.
the next summer.
It's gonna come out around the same time as GTA.
Rip your social life.
Yeah, rip your social life. Yeah. But no, it's going to be great. Like so there a set date for the video game awards or
I don't
nothing?
think they've announced it yet.
They do have one. Yeah.
Okay, got to put it on your calendar, boys.
Yep.
December 11th.
Put it on your calendar.
All right. So before we end the episode, Taz, you had a segment that you wanted us to kind of
I
introduce
just
to
want
the
to go out
podcast.
on a positive note because I think I can speak for all of us when I say that Pokemon has ruined our mood, our disposition.
I'm
It's
really
just
hoping you're
Your
going to
mood.
change your
It's
tune by
bad
next
vibes,
by next episode.
bad vibes. So let's just, I think let's end on a good note, and let's go out with bangers, I guess we'll call it, and just
okay.
everybody throw out one banger, and it
Can
could
I
be anything.
okay.
It doesn't have to be a video game. It can be anything. It could be an object. It could be a new tool. Maybe you got some sweet new kitchen utensil that you like using.
So I'll start. I watched Black Phone 2 yesterday. Highly recommended. I don't know if anyone has seen the first one. It's a great movie. Ethan Hawke is in it. What happened? Did I say something?
No, please continue.
Wonder looked like he was trying to find something to
I have
Okay.
introduce.
No,
he like
I have
casually
one.
like
Don't worry
looks
about it.
behind.
But all that to say, if you guys like horror movies, I mean, it's more than that. But it really gave me Nightmare on Elm Street vibes. So Freddy Krueger vibes. It's a really really good movie. Um, yeah, and there's no like needless like jump scares or whatever. It's just psychologically like a really 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 good horror movie. So that's my whatever the segment
Your
is.
banger. Say
My
it.
banger. There we go. That's my banger.
Fucking right.
Manu, what
Taz,
do you got?
Manu, go ahead.
I was gonna say my banger is just honestly, guys, pick up a new card game and go to a game store and just go have fun with people that also want to play around and play the same game. And whether it's Magic, Pokemon, Arcana, whatever you're into, it's just go socialize, have some good time, and go support your local game store.
Deep.
What about you? No, why don't you go ahead, Taz?
No, please. I would love to hear what your banger is.
My
Please be
banger
Pokemon, please
is
be
that I
Pokemon.
picked up recently the Galaxy 30s, which is something I've been wanting to get ever since they announced it, but wasn't able to budget wise. And so I was found one for a really good deal, like mint condition, and I'm kind of excited to be able to play a lot of 3DS games I haven't in the past. Also, some older retro games because it's modded, and I can just play a lot of console games.
Hey. Nintendo's legal team might be listening.
Hey, if I get a letter from Nintendo, I'll be happy.
All right. My banger is my Ninja air fryer. Guys,
Was
no,
this? Hold
you don't
on. Did you
understand.
introduce this
No, I
segment just so we can
Yeah,
talk about
seriously,
the
just to talk
No.
about it. And I was
No.
yeah.
Guys, no, seriously. I think, okay, fries made in my Ninja air fryer are superior to deep fried French fries. And then
You're
I will go
crazy.
so far as to say anything that can be made in an oven is superior when made in my Ninja air fryer. It is insane. Dude, my tum tum is full of dino nuggies and French fries, and it was a delicious fucking meal, okay? Because this goddamn fryer, I just open up the thing and I just toss everything in willy nilly, let it cook, Every now and again, give it a little shake, and it comes out, and it's so fucking good. The
What is
fries are
also
crispy as
nice that
shit.
I
it
can
takes
concur.
so less time to like preheat anything. It's
Hey, I
quick and
also
easy.
had dino nuggies, so kudos to you.
Taz, I will say, try making sausages inside the Ninja air fryer. That shit is so fucking amazing.
Dude,
I also
honestly, at this point, I feel like I can make ice cream in that air fryer, and it will
Like
taste
it's so
amazing.
good. But
It's
Ninja,
just
they honestly make great stuff. I recently came across the Ninja waffle maker. Dude, you literally just put the batter inside the little waffle maker thing, and like just the perfect waffles come out.
That's usually how
Like
waffle
it's
makers
so
work.
good.
that's
No, I know, but
Are you
no,
talking
but
about
like
the one that stays vertical?
yeah,
Yeah.
that
I
one,
see.
yeah.
dude.
You know
Like
what he's talking
seriously,
about, Manu?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I
like
believe.
because I've seen other waffle makers and it's inconsistent, but that one, like I've seen videos of it because I'm like, no, it can't be this good.
Yep.
Every single time
Uh,
it comes out perfect.
So
I
actually,
I
also
went
have a
to
Ninja air
the
fryer, and it's
Disney
the best thing.
the Disney
Like
waffle maker I have has side channels where if you overflow, it'll just dip into that, so you always get the perfect waffles.
Ah, nice.
reheating pizza in the air fryer, phenomenal. But also, if
Yes.
you're ever gonna
Yes.
cook salmon, it comes out
Oh,
really good. Yeah.
Reheating anything in the air fryer works because you will get it
oh
crispy
yeah,
again.
Yo,
100%.
I went to a barbecue over the summer, and this one guy just brought his Ninja slushy machine.
Nice.
Ooh.
Fucking anything Ninja. Ninja should make a gaming console. Ninja should make Ninja should make the next
The
Pokemon
next
game.
Pokemon
It'll be so good, dude.
If we okay,
game.
Wait, who owns
Go on.
Ninja? I really hope it's not just like fucking GE or some
it's
bullshit.
Tencent
That
It's
probably.
Nintendo.
Who owns Ninja? What do you mean? Like Ninja owns Ninja?
it's owned by a company called Shark Ninja, a global product design and technology company
Well, is it
that
is
also
it?
owns the Shark
Yeah, the
vacuum
shark. I was gonna
test,
say that.
whatever.
Yeah, the shark vacuums. Yeah. Well, there you go. The more you know.
Okay, great. So at least it's not some like
So I
it's not one of
guess
those things where it's like Pepsi owns fucking 67 different
Basically.
you're
beverages.
either getting a slushy machine or that's what we're getting you for Christmas.
I don't want a slushy machine. If you get me that, I'm just gonna send you back home with it. Like I don't want.
This guy's gonna fucking put like fried chicken and turn it into like a slushy or something like that. It's gonna be
All right,
disgusting.
so like I just bring over that machine. I change your mind. You want some fried chicken soft serve?
Yeah, I should made a funny for this year.
All right.
Oh
On that
man.
note, thanks for listening to another episode of Not Quite High Score. You guys can check us out on Blue Sky, Twitter. You guys can also look at our lovely faces on notquitehighscore.com, which will lead you to our YouTube channel. As usual, you guys can send us an email at notquitehighscore@gmail.com. Any comment would be nice. Taz at this point is desperate and sad, always
Thanks.
looking at our empty inbox.
Just send me a blank email.
Yeah, give him hope. Give something to be
Literally just-
excited about after playing
just
Pokemon
nothing.
CA. Yeah.
Not even a subject line, just a blank. That's it. You know what I mean? Use a bot to do it.
At this point, just even have like a Nigerian prince scam us. Like, please.
Yeah. Acknowledge us somehow. Just
All right.
I don't want to feel invisible anymore.